Okay, we are going to explain lesson 4.4, graphing sine and cosine functions. First of all, I have to tell you what you have to know, only what you have to know. Sine x, the graph of sine x, the graph, we have two sections, section A and section B. Section A is concerning the graph, it's the first section, and for the sine and cosine, and section B is for transformations, sinusoidal functions. What do we have to know actually about sine and cosine? Only the graph itself starts from 0, 0. Only the graph itself starts from 0, 0, this point, the midpoint, the x-intercept, pi, and finally 2 pi. For the cosine as well, the same thing. Okay, starts from 0, but starts from this point 0, 1 because it's cosine, and passing through the pi ends. Okay, another thing you have to understand, on the y-axis, it's in between -1 and 1. Always? Yeah, always. Okay, so this is enough only for the graph sine of x and cosine of x concerning the lesson of 4.4. Okay, how can you graph it? We're gonna use, how can we graph it? Let's go to how can we graph it. We're gonna use this program. How can we use it? We're going to settings, actually, to make it like, for example, go to step and make it and select the keyboard and write pi over 2 to make it like radians, pi divided by 2. And it's gonna be like this way. Okay, and make this one, doesn't matter if we're gonna leave it like this way, no problem. Okay, and you can graph using the keyboard as well on the monitor, functions, sine, and you put the x and close the bracket. No need even, you can make it like sine x without brackets. Okay, and for the other function, go to this place, number 2, and you can graph cosine x using your own keyboard, cosine x, here you go. So you notice you can graph using this program, desmos.com/calculator. This is concerning the section, the first section, or the part A for graphing the function, sine, even cosine, or sine. Okay, let's go back to the lesson. Okay, we're gonna complete the section, the other section, section B, which is the sinusoidal functions, any transformations. What is the meaning of transformations? Up, down, left, right, reflected. Up, down on the y-axis, which is the vertical shift concerning this one. This is the vertical shift. Okay, what about phase shift? It's right or left. Okay, what about the period, the frequency, the amplitude? It's only the letters. You're going to, what is the meaning of the letter A? The coefficient of the sign or the number. This is always amplitude. Amplitude equals absolute value A. Okay, so there is no minus. For the B, helps to find the period. What is the rule of the period? What is the period first? The period when you are graphing like this one. For this one, starting from 0, 0, the whole wave called period. This is the period. What is the frequency? The frequency always the frequency, another thing, okay, equals 1 over p, which is the reciprocal actually, 1 over p, okay? So this one is the frequency, which is the amount of cycles together So the period always reciprocal of the P and vice versa. Okay, so sinusoidal functions for sine and cosine only, section B. So section A was the graph, use desmos.com online. And for section B, it's discussing actually sinusoidal functions for sine and cosine. What is the A? The A is amplitude, absolute value amplitude, the rule. What is the B? Helps to find the period. The period equals 2 pi over absolute value B. What is the frequency? It is the reciprocal of the period. Absolute B, absolute value of B divided by 2 pi. What is the phase shift concerning the C in red? Okay, horizontally on x-axis, left or right. What is the phase shift? Rule equals negative C divided by absolute value B. What is the vertical shift? Finally, is the number outside the brackets. It can be up or down. So y-axis, vertical shift, Vs is vertical shift equals the point itself, D. If it's +1, write +1. If it's -1, write -1 or -1. Okay, let's go to questions. Question number 1. It's very easy, by the way, very easy. All the questions, you are going to do it like we divided before, like 2 sections, okay? The section of the graph is section A or section 1. This is section 1 concerning the graph. If I'm writing number 1, I'm talking about 1 means the graph itself. Okay, if I'm writing section number 2 or section number B, so I'm talking about the sinusoidal wave or the any kind of transformations concerning the 2 equations in front of you guys. Okay, let's go to example number 1. Example number 1, describe how the graphs. So he's asking for section A, the graph of f of x equals sine x and g of x equals 1/4 sine x are related. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to only for section 1, which is the graph, to find only the graph using the Desmos calculator. So I'm going to graph now in front of you. You can use it, it's very easy. The first one is, for example, number 1, it's sine x. It's already in front of you. And for the second one, it is, you can use the keyboard. It's ready for us. 1 divided by 4. Take a space to the right and write sine x on the keyboard. Here you go. What are you going to do? You're going to just do like this and make save, this button like this way, save, and that's it. This is the concerning the idea of the graph. Okay, let's go to example number 1, the section B or number 2, section B number 2 concerning the sinusoidal functions. And this function, 1/4 sine x, it's only, you can find only the amplitude. You have nothing except the amplitude. So you can find the amplitude. Also, you can find the value of 2 pi over b, but he didn't ask for the period in this question. He is asking only for the amplitude for this function. Okay. Question number 2. Describe how the graphs, so we are going to do it on desmos.com, the calculator. Not now. After finishing what he is looking for. He's looking for to find the second one. He is looking to then find the amplitude, section number 2, which is the sinusoidal waves or the functions or the sinusoidal wave transformations, I'm sorry. Okay, so for the graph, you are going to use Desmos. And for the amplitude, you can get the coefficient, which is -3 in this part. This one is -3 to find the amplitude. That's it. Let's go to the graph. How can we graph it? We're doing example number 2. So erase everything, and you can do it on your keyboard itself, or you can use the keyboard on the monitor. Let's do it writing. Another matter. We learned actually before, when we are using the graphic calculator, we are using, when it comes in the beginning of the equation, you are using the negation. In this case, on this program, you are going to make a normal minus, okay? And then write the 3 cosine x. Here you go. For the other one, you are going to make it cosine x, take a space, and press X on your keyboard. Here you go, that's it. No more, no less, okay? Let's go to example number 3. Example number 3. Okay, in this example, actually, he's asking you about another thing. He's asking to graph this part. So you're going to do it on the calculator. Okay, and the second part, he's asking for amplitude and the period. How can we find the amplitude? The amplitude, the rule of the amplitude is absolute value A, always for sine and cosine. What is the value in front of this one? It's 1, written in front of you, 1. So the amplitude equals to 1. What about the period? The period, the rule of the period is 2 pi over absolute value B. Where is it? In the first page, the period is 2 pi over absolute value B. What is the B here in this question? The B equals to 1 over 3. How come? Because this one is cosine 1 over 3 x. Okay, so the value of B equals to 1 over 3. So 2 pi over 1 over 3 equals to 6 pi. You're going to ask me how. Okay, 2 pi. This one is divided by 1 over 3. It's the same for, and take this one as a reciprocal, times 3 over 1 equals to 6 pi. Okay. Example number 5. State the amplitude, period, frequency, and phase shift. He's asking for a lot of things in this one. The graph, you're going to do it on the calculator. Let's go to do this one, by the way. Example number 5, example number 5. Go to the graphic calculator online, remove this one by using backspace, and this one as well, and start to write your equation. You're gonna draw only one equation, sine, take a space, the brackets, 3x. I'm doing it on my keyboard. Minus, take a space, and you can use the pi on your monitor, pi divided by 2, and close the bracket. Sorry, take a space and close the bracket on the keyboard. Doesn't matter. Here you go. This is enough for graph? Yes, this is enough for graph. Okay. The other section we have to talk about, it's what he's looking for concerning, he's asking for the amplitude, period, frequency, phase shift, and then graph it. خلاص. The part of graphing, bye-bye. Finito la musica. What about he's asking for the amplitude, the sinusoidal functions, or the transformations, section 2 or section B, as we said at the beginning. Okay, amplitude equals to A, absolute value of A equals to 1. Okay, so this value is A. So you can find the amplitude. This value is the coefficient of the x, B. It helps to find the period actually. So 2 pi over absolute value B equals 2 pi over 3. Done. The frequency, always the reciprocal of the period. So 3 pi or 3 over 2 pi. Okay. Finally, the phase shift, I told you, as I told you before, it's on the x-axis, left or right. You have a rule for this one, negative c. So what is the value of c? C is the whole thing actually with the minus, take it with the minus. Okay, so minus in the rule multiplied by the minus in the value itself equals to positive. So pi over 2 all divided by 3. Finally, you're going to get the answer of pi over 6. Why? Because actually you're making it pi over 2 multiplied by 1 over 3 equals to pi over 6. Okay. Example number 6. Example number 6, the last one in this video for lesson 4.4 concerning graphing the sine and the cosine. And for lesson 4.5, we are going to make it later on for the tangent, only graphing the tangent. State the amplitude, period, the frequency, phase shift, and vertical shift. I told you section 2 is concerning the sinusoidal function or the transformation of the function. And section 1 is always concerning what? Is always concerning the part of the graph, section 1. So in this case, we are going to graph it first. We're going to graph it first. So this one was sine x space plus 2. I'm going to use this one, 2 pi, and close the bracket. Here you go. That's it, Mr. Wael. We have -1. Minus the normal -1. Here you go. That's it? Yes, that's it. And you can click save, so you can give me a copy or share screen, whatever, and give me the graph itself. On the laptop? Yeah, on the laptop. Online? Yeah, online. Okay, let's go to what he's asking for, the sinusoidal part. So we need page 5. Okay, he's asking for the amplitude, period, frequency, phase shift, and vertical shift. Go to this part. Okay. I wrote the sine wave for you again, or the sine function, and we are going to explain. The part A is concerning the amplitude. The coefficient of the B is 1 to helps to find the period. 2 pi over absolute value B, 2 pi over absolute value 1 equals 2 pi. The frequency is always the reciprocal of 2 pi over 1 equals the reciprocal of the frequency, 1 over 2 pi. Phase shift, you are going to use your rule, negative C, and in the value it's 2 pi, so negative C, it's for the rule, and this one is 2 pi positive, divided by absolute value 1 equals to negative 2 pi. That's it? Yeah, that's it. The vertical shift, the final one, equals to the D. Take it as it is and put it. That's it. And thank you very much.